indicating that these ink lights are out. Okay, the ones that are blinking are indicating that it's gonna go out, and this one's solid, so that means that it thinks it has no ink. Okay? So what you do is you press the ink button, the carriage is gonna move out a little bit. Okay, you unclip the ones that correspond with that. Usually it's your whites because you're printing so much white. You just unclip them a little bit, and then you clip them back in. It's basically so the chip in the back, and you press the ink button again. It's basically so the chip in the back stops making contact, so you're tricking it to make it think that you're putting a new one in. That's basically what you're doing.
And how often does it work? Every t-shirt?
No. Ray printed it all day yesterday.
Yesterday,
my coworker.
that was a training session, so we were printing it all day long. So it's thinking, the chip on the cartridge is thinking that it's out of ink.
Oh, okay.
And rather than modifying the cartridge, removing a chip and all, it's designed to work with that chip, so we fool it to think because it's an infinite supply. The actual ink supply is in.
That I understand. But I was just trying to understand after how often, what's the
There's no real value
okay.
because of those differences of the size of the shirt. Okay, your whites are gonna go more often because you're printing solid whites. Okay, your colors, you're using a little bit of magenta, a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow to make a certain color. So those don't go out as often. But I mean, if you're printing a whole bunch of little left chest, just a logo, you could probably print the whole job without having to reset. If you're printing a solid white, you might have to reset it every 3 or 4 shirts.
One more question. If we have to, let's say, do 200 t-shirts or 300, 400 t-shirts, it's a 3-day job. Somebody told me you just spray the pre-treatment on the t-shirts, and if you know that you are going to use a t-shirt after 3 days, just leave it in the shelf, it will dry itself in 3 days. I mean, without doing that heat press thing.
I don't recommend that. The fibers are going to stay up. The whole process of the pre-treating and the flattening the fibers is to flatten those fibers, to get you the flattest surface. Okay, you can pre-treat ahead of time, don't get me wrong, because the chemical is still there, the white is still going to sit up on that. What comes into play is the fibers. Okay, now where fibers come into play is basically if a fiber is sticking up, it's spraying white on it. It's going to come back, spray the color. When you cure it and you flatten it, you're going to have a little white speck because it's going to flatten and it's just going to show the white. So if you have a lot of fibers, you're going to have white specks everywhere. So it will affect the quality.
But again, I was thinking if you have to do, let's say 100 t-shirts, let's say 12. So we pre-treat the 12 and then we stack them one on top of the other. Let's say like this. This is the first t-shirt. Already this area is pre-treated. So the back of this is not pre-treated. So you just go like this. So isn't the back of this going to affect the pre-treatment? It is. So it's not recommended.
I recommend to pre-treat them ahead of time. I wouldn't stack them up like that. You could put a silicone sheet in between them. Yeah, so it's not frictioning the fibers. That's my recommendation. Of course, you can do whatever you want.
No, but how does it affect the print quality?
Like I said, the fibers.
Fibers, because the back of this will stick with the glue on the...
Yeah, it's basically friction. Even if you fold them up and put them on top of each other, it's just going to rub and rub and it's going to create fibers.
What if, now this is sticky area, blue area. I need you to record these questions.
Look at these white specks. Those are fibers.
Okay.
Those little white specks.
Now, I have another question. Let's say this t-shirt we have pre-treated, no print, just pre-treated. What if I fold it like this and keep it in the shelf like that? Because there should be a way of keeping a bulk of t-shirts. How do we store them? If it's pre-treated, should I put them on a hanger? Should I put them?
You can put them on a hanger.
100 t-shirts.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's your preference, whatever you want to do. If you want to stack them up, if you want to do that, that's
No, but how does this area go in printing, which has been bent? See, you see like this. If it
well, then you would have to press it before you
press it again on.
Yeah, before you print it. So if you have a stack of them, you would have to press it again.
So that means what we need to do is that when you pre-treat the t-shirts, you put one like this, the other down face down like this, the third one face up again,
To have the
and the
pre-treating
fourth
prison.
one face down again, so the pre-treatments are touching each other. Is that the way that we should do?
It's still
But
gonna
what you want to
create
do
the
is
fibers.
avoid them rubbing against one another. If you perfectly put them down, not Paul, am I correct? So
Yeah.
you want to avoid any friction between the surfaces, because as soon as we go like this, we're roughing up the.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand how to stack a number of t-shirts. So how do we do that? What way shall we do that? Let's say if I have 100 t-shirts, you want to put this whole hall is going to fill up with them. 100
What
t-shirts.
you
is going to
suggested
fill up.
probably is surface to surface, treating to treating, but on top. No, don't drag it on the shirt.
Just lay it on.
Just lay it on, and when you remove it, you don't want to drag it at all, right? I think to try even possibly a lift even this way. I don't know. You know, well,
Yeah, at that point, it's really up to you and how you.
But try it. Try the
Yeah.
shirts. You know, what Sabrina's telling you is perfect printing. She is giving you the example on how to do it, and your prints are going to come out perfect.
Correct.
If you have a client that's going to go over in a magnifying glass and really get, you have to
They'll
be
do it
conscious
the
of
same
it.
way, yeah.
But if you have maybe some that are more forgiving clients or what have you, but you're going to be the expert. You're going to see for your type of shirts, the shirts you purchase.
No,
all
that
those
part I
things.
understand. What I'm trying to learn here is how to.
You want to avoid friction. You want to avoid shirts rubbing against one
So
another.
how can you-
Static electricity. Well, yeah, obviously if they're hung, they're not going to touch. But that's more work. So you have to do your compromise between labor and
What you need to do is when you have the machine goes here, and you have this, you have to use the same shelves, and remove these shelves, leave the hangers up here. So you've got 50 t-shirts, just hang them in the hangers. And use them when you are printing, you just take it out of the hanger and use them like that. Because that's the only way, or the other way around is, treat it at the same time, print it at the same time, the way we are running here. So we will still need to use this or something like this, that the machine goes here and you have top of the machine, you need to have a slots like that to hang them so that there is no friction on them. Did you record that part?
It's been
That's important
recorded.
that we need to do in our office.
It's been recording.
Anything with the hanger, the best solution is the hanger because as